There can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks, I'm Matt, and it's just me today. I would have Wes here, but I'm getting over a cold, and Wes seems to get agitated whenever I have a cold. He goes, are you getting sick? No, I'm getting over a cold, but he feels uncomfortable. So I don't want to make him uncomfortable, so I'm going to just do this one solo. Maybe the next one, I don't know, because I got to be 100%, in good health, or else Wes is questioning me if I'm still sick. Had a terrible cold. Couldn't even breathe out of my nose for a couple of days. I know there's bouts of COVID going around. You're thinking, oh, is it COVID? No, because they are losing sense of smell and taste. I still have that, thank goodness, and don't have anything else. It's just a cold, and I know that because my little babies had colds, and we tested them for COVID. So, although I'll be honest, it's going around again. COVID and flu is basically the same thing. I don't think it was the flu either. It feels like a cold, just a very hard cold. And it's the one my babies got because on Christmas Day or something, after they were getting over their colds, one of them sneezed right in my face. I knew that was it. I knew that it was only a matter of days, which it was. It was the day after Christmas when I started coming down with it. So, oh well. It's to be, but other than that, I feel fine and actually doing really well. In fact, I'm doing so well that I said, you know what can make me feel awful? I've been feeling sick, awful. Like I can't breathe. Basically, that's it. Always having to blow my nose, always being stuffed up, and then of course, just like that, trying to clear my throat and whatever, and head stuffed and everything. So. What can make, I'm feeling better, I'm on the mend. What can make me feel terrible? I know. Why don't I watch the Marvels? Yeah, just let that sink in. All right, so I got to watch it, and I wanted to give my thoughts. We usually give thoughts on Marvel movies. It used to be a fun thing to do. Now it's not. Bruce is busy. Bruce would have come over, but it's too busy. I think he's seen it. I cannot remember. I'm pretty sure he liked it because he likes almost everything Marvel. And I wish he would have been on here to tell me what he likes about it because there ain't much. Now, I will say this. It is not the worst Marvel movie ever. People are saying it's the worst Marvel movie ever. It's not. It's the Eternals will always have that. I don't think there's anything that could be worse than the Eternals. The Eternals are just so awful. But this one, pretty bad. We're scraping the barrel. There are some things I can talk fun about it and, say that, hey, these were some good scenes or some good parts. But overall, what a mess. Now, first off, all of these superheroes, I don't think they ever gave her a name. So Rambo from WandaVision, Miss Marvel from the TV show, and of course Captain Marvel from the first movie are all banded together in this one. And this is supposed to tie up or continue 7 or 5 other storylines. I don't know what the storylines were. I mean, Captain Marvel's maybe, because they have this thing where Captain Marvel and Rambo touch some type of light or something, some rift in space. And suddenly they and Kamala Khan, who's Miss Marvel, all can switch bodies instantly whenever they use their ability. This is never explained why. In fact, the only connection they have is they all have powers of light. They have light powers, I don't know what this means. It sounds like Rainbow Bright. Okay, Rainbow Bright had light powers too. So they're using their Rainbow Bright powers in different ways. I still don't know the difference between them. I mean, I guess Captain Marvel's is all power. Miss Marvel can make light into hard matter, that crystallization. And then Rambo can, I don't know, phase through things and then not phase through things when she wants to, throw power punches. I don't understand. They still don't really understand these characters very well. Now, I don't know, about twice, I think they asked Rambo where she got her powers. Captain Marvel does. She went, yeah, I walked through a hex put up by a witch and got these powers. I don't know if they're making a joke about that. Because it is, I've already said this, it changed her molecules when she walked through the hex. No one else did it, but she could. And I don't know why. And that's never explained because, of course, it's not. Rambo was the worst character in WandaVision by far. Rambo, yeah. She was the worst character by far. And that she got these powers by walking through the hex, it does not make any sense whatsoever. And so I kind of feel like they were trying to make a joke there, but Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, excuse me. There's so many Marvels here. Carol doesn't laugh at it and go, oh, is that true? I mean, one time she asked her, how does she got her powers? I think the second time it's like, you got this by walking through the shield of a hex of a witch or whatever. It's like, yeah. I don't, is it supposed to be a joke? I don't know. It should be a joke because when you say it like that, it sounds like a joke, at least to me. They have this thing of their switching powers whenever they activate. It makes for some really, at the very beginning, they have this, there's 3 battles going on, one on a space station, one in Nick Fury's living room area in space or something, and then one in Kamala Khan's house. And throughout the entire action scene, every time they use their powers, they're switching. You know, all 3 of the girls are switching. I've made fun of Transformers for being such a mess when it comes to action sequences. It's like you don't know what's going on. You don't know who's winning. You don't know who's fighting what. You don't know who threw who or who punched who. Boy, it is 10 times as hard to follow when you have 3 people switching all the time, different areas or the same area into a different person. It's like they just put a highlight reel of punches and kicks and just threw it all together. And I mean, it was just awful. It was an editing nightmare, I guess, to put this together because it was a headache to watch. Like, oh, now Kamala Khan. Sorry, I'm going to do that a lot. Kamala Khan is on the space station. Okay, now it's Rambo on the space station. And Carol Danvers is in Kamala Khan's house fighting people. But no, it's Kamala again. But no, it's Carol Danvers. But no, Carol Danvers is now fighting. It would have been much easier if they maybe would have just followed one. I don't know. It was so weird why they had to switch from 3 different people fighting the same fight in 3 different areas. I mean, just what a mess. What a mess. The whole time I was going, I don't know. And if this is what your opening action sequence is, because that's the first action scene we really have, it was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, just imagine a bunch of YouTube shorts of people punching and kicking each other in the same 3 areas, the same 3 people doing the same exact fight, 3 different areas. And then it's all just edited together, not in order, just hodgepodge. Terrible. Terrible. Whose decision was this? So confusing. And then about the switching, I don't know what the purpose was. I don't know what the purpose. They never explain why they're switching. Maybe they do, but you don't understand it because the story. And this is the problem. This is the problem. It's the director. It's the actors. No, it's the writers. It's the writers. Okay. Captain Marvel did not excite me. Okay. Honestly, not a very good Marvel movie. The first one. Rambo was the worst thing about WandaVision. And I said this with Miss Marvel. I like Kamala Khan. I like her. But man, they had nothing to do with her for 4 of her 6 episodes. The first 2 episodes were okay. But after that, they just did not know what to do with Miss Marvel. And it's a shame because she's a likable character. Okay? That I can say. Okay, but it's the writing. The writing sucks at Marvel. It's the writing. It's all the way the writing. What was the purpose of switching? We don't know. We don't know why it was there. They do this, I don't know, it's a training montage. It's just them having fun, like juggling and then using their powers while they juggle and catching the same ball or balancing books on their head and then using their power to switch and then keep the books remaining on their heads as they switch books. What? And then playing jump rope together. It felt more like a Rainbow Bright episode where all our friends came over and had a slumber party. That's training. I thought you maybe just take turns fight because and by the way, this does not pay off. This whole training montage does not pay off because when they finally fight, whatever her face is, I don't even know who the bad guy is, and I just watched it. I have no idea what the villain's name was, but when they fight the villain, they really don't use the switching power at all. So what was the purpose of getting better at it? I understand that, all these things that they were trying to do. I honestly, it was just juggling balls and then switching powers and then catching the ball that they threw to one another or skipping rope, which didn't make sense to me, or balancing books on their head or, painting their toenails and talking about cute boys and then switching while painting their toenails. I don't know if that was a scene or not. That may not have been a scene. I don't know. There's just so much garbage on the screen. I got confused and blacked out for a minute. I was like, oh, geez, why can't my cold come back to me? I know it's leaving me, but I'd rather have it back than have to understand what the frag is going on here. So, anyway, while they're doing all this, I guess it's supposed to serve a purpose, but it doesn't. They never use the ability. They never use the ability, that switching mobility to get better at something. Now let's get to the villain here. The villain, I don't know. We're just going to call her Shanique from the Hallmark Channel, because she looked like a Hallmark Channel, and I'm going to get quotations here. Villain. It's like the antagonist in a Hallmark movie. It's the woman who's a little bit rude and snooty, and she opens up the bakery shop next to our girl who we're rooting for to get the guy, right? But she runs the rival bakery shop across the street, and she's always being condescending to the other girl about her bakery and how that girl's bakery is not as good as hers, That is exactly what this girl looked like. She looked like straight out of a Hallmark movie. She didn't look threatening at all. She looked dangerous. She was horrible, a horrible villain. And it made no sense. I'll get to this later, but it really made no sense why they struggled so much against her. Honestly. Shanique from Hallmark, should have just been in there baking cookies. It would have been better if she'd have set up let's say that Captain Marvel sets up a bakery. And so this villain sets up a bakery across the street and then consistently sticks her tongue out and thumbs her nose at Captain Marvel whenever she's looking out her window. That would be better. Actually, I think I would understand it more. And Captain Marvel's trying to get the looks of some prince or whatever. I don't know. Some guy, okay? And Shanique from Hallmark wants to break that thing up. Not that she likes the guy. She just wants to destroy that relationship. That's what the movie probably should have been. It would have been better. Anyway, story completely lost. There's a scene. It's supposed to be fun. The cat is everywhere. The cat was in the first one. The one with the octopus, he opens his mouth and tentacles come out. Ha ha ha. I didn't really think that was that funny. It maybe had one giggle or maybe one smile from me in the first movie. I honestly remember nothing of Captain Marvel's first movie. But now the cat's everywhere, and the cat has babies. And so the babies, and this is what happens. The space station, I guess, is under attack or something. We don't know. It's under attack, or they have to evacuate. There's not enough escape pods to get everyone off. I don't know why there isn't. If that's explained, you get lost. You don't understand the storyline. So Nick Fury says, we'll let the cats eat everyone, swallow them whole, and then we'll load the cats up into the lone escape pods we have, the only ones that we have, because cats are easier to fit in than humans. And then they'll spit them out when we reach Earth. What? And so now there's a cute scene where all of his people are running around in terror away from the cats as he's giving the announcement, hey, stand still and let them eat you. Was no one involved in the plan? And you're supposed to be laughing because everyone's running away in fear as these cats are just swallowing them up and screaming in terror. One girl thinks she makes it away, then she turns and she's facing a cat. Oh, and the cat swallows her whole and she screams. And Kamala Khan grabs a cat and starts, squeezing its belly like a Tickle Me Elmo, and then shoots out tentacles, and she goes, sorry, every time she eats one. And we're supposed to laugh about this. I don't understand. Nick Fury's people should be a little bit more organized and a little bit more professional than run around screaming on a space station. It is so out of character. It's so weird. Maybe they all agree and they all start going into the cats. I don't know. And then why? How are the cats going along with this? They're just brand new babies. How did they understand this is what we're doing? Because they all walk into the escape pod. They don't leave the escape pods. They let them get loaded up in the escape pod in the last shuttle out without any problems. But they never eat Kamala's family. Because, of course, there's co-stars in this, supporting cast. They don't need any of the supporting or starring cast. Why? Do they know that? Do they talk to cats? Are the cats that smart right out of birth? How does How does Nick Fury? How does he control the cats? That's what I want to know. What's going on? Again, we're supposed to laugh at this because it's cute cats, and aren't cats cute? But it makes zero sense. Again, the writing. The writing is terrible for this. The other thing is, as we were talking about the Rainbow Bright powers, Miss Marvel has a bracelet from the first movie. I thought it was the source of her power, but she uses her power without the bracelet later on. So I guess I don't remember Miss Marvel that much. I thought she found the bracelet, which gave her the powers. But without the bracelet, she can still use her powers. Either way, it's one half of what's called I don't know what they're called, quantum cuffs or whatever. And when she shows Miss Marvel has to tell the story. The quantum cuffs, I thought they were legendary. I thought they weren't real, a myth. Oh, okay. But this other girl, Shanique from Hallmark, she has the first quantum cuff. She found it at the very beginning of the movie. And we're supposed to be very impressed that she has one. This is what's been the source of her power. She can go toe-to-toe with Miss Marvel. I mean, with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. Because of this one cuff. Yet, Captain Marvel is leagues stronger than Miss Marvel. Who has the same cuff. I just don't understand it. And then when Shanique from Hallmark gets both quantum cuffs, she's going to bash them together via Wonder Woman style. And they're warning her not to do it. Because if she does, the power will be too much for her and she'll die. But she does it anyway because she's a villain. And Captain Marvel shoots her out into space. Suddenly Captain Marvel can go toe-to-toe with her now that she has both quantum cuffs. Captain Marvel couldn't take her on by herself with only one quantum cuff. But with two, I guess it makes her weaker. I don't know. Either way, push her out into space and to where she exploded into a million little bits because she shouldn't have put the cuffs together. And she opens up a time rift in space. I'm not making this up. It feels like I'm making this up. It feels like I'm reading some third grader's story of what a superhero film would be about. Okay, so she dies. But later on, the cuffs are put on Miss Marvel, who does the same exact thing. She puts the cuffs together. What? She won't die? No, I guess she's more powerful than the villain. Well, why couldn't she take on the villain? It's just, I'm not trying to be nitpicky. I'm just saying, you try to unhook your mind. I'm someone who watches Fast and Furious and can watch it and enjoy it for what it is. But goodness gracious, it's insulting. It's insulting how stupid these Marvel movies are, or how they've gotten. Fire every single writer you have on your staff, please, please, and then explain to me how Rainbow Bright powers are the most powerful things in the universe. That's another thing. Now, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. There is some light at the end of this tunnel. I'll give you one thing. I'll give half point for another one. But one full point for the music planet they visited. I actually enjoyed that. There's a planet that they go to visit, all the Marvels do, that they can't understand you if you just speak. You have to sing. You have to sing and dance. That's how they interpret, that's how they communicate. It's through song and dance. And it's pretty funny as Captain Marvel singing and dancing with the prince, who she had to marry through some kind of ritual in an adventure we never knew happened. And, Kamala Khan, to her credit, is doing a really great thing because she's kind of juking and dancing too. She's really into the planet. Whereas Rambo has no personality and they don't know what to do with the character, so he just kind of sits there like a bump on a log. The funny thing is they make a joke out of that later on. But the singing planet and dancing planet, I kind of like that. That's fine. I enjoyed that bit. I was like, oh, well, this is enjoyable. Now, the half point I'm going to give him, Captain Marvel moves to Louisiana at the end. That's only because that's where Rambo's mom was. And so she wants to be closer to, I guess, the only family she knew was in Louisiana. So good on her. She's living in Louisiana. It's got to be South Louisiana. I doubt they filmed that scene in Louisiana at all, but okay, Louisiana, yip, hooray for my home state. Now, this movie, I wanted to see, does it help or hurt the characters? This is the second debut of Captain Marvel, in her own feature film, I should say. Rambo after WandaVision, and Kamala Khan after Miss Marvel. How do their characters fare after the Marvels? Realistically here. Captain Marvel is a big thumbs down for her. She looks... first off, I've told you this. I have no idea what happened in the Captain Marvel. I know it took place in the 90s. I know Agent Coulson was young. I know we saw Nick Fury lose an eye, which I thought was stupid. I know she crashes in a blockbuster, or something happens at a blockbuster, and that's about it. I don't remember Captain Marvel at all. So they did some flashbacks, which is good, but I still don't remember it. And then, in my opinion, she's weaker. She's weak. She's gone toe to toe. She's battled Thanos. She's battled all these people, but she can't battle Shanique from the Hallmark Channel because she's got the rival bakery, and her croissants are gonna run Captain Marvel's bakery out of business. I just don't get that, and I feel that Captain Marvel's just out of character. Out of character. She's really dumb. I mean, even Nick Fury makes the comment. He's like, "What did you do?" He's like, "Well, I saw a light and I touched it." He went, "You don't touch things that light. You don't touch strange, mysterious light." She went, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Yeah, that is kind of stupid of you. You're not stupid. You've not been established as a stupid character who just touches something shiny and bright that's glowing radiation. But because you have rainbow bright powers, I guess you're going to protect yourself?" I don't know. It's so I think it does her a discredit. I don't think Captain Marvel's a more lovable character. Not that she was lovable before, but I think it weakens her character. Now, I did hear that, and it could be rumor, I know they have, what's-her-face, Brie Larson for one more movie, contractually speaking. But and I'm sure they're going to use her for whatever movie they want. But to be honest, at this point, if Brie Larson's having second thoughts about doing Captain Marvel, she's smart. Because that character's a mess now after the Marvels. What about Nick Fury? Remember, we're supposed to wrap up, we're supposed to see some stuff from the Secret Invasion storyline. Secret Invasion, the worst Marvel TV show they ever did. I mean, Luke Cage, include Jessica Jones, and I hate Jessica Jones. but Secret Invasion is the worst of them all. There's nothing from Secret Invasion here. Yeah, they talk about the Kree Skrull War, I guess, but there's nothing. His wife isn't on in the movie. What's going on? I mean, now the thing is, maybe this came out of order. Maybe the Marvels was supposed to come out first, and then Secret Invasion. But I don't care anymore because none of it makes sense at all. And so, but this was touted to continue the story from Secret Mission 2, and didn't. Nothing. In fact, the Kree that's another thing. The Kree get eliminated, or I can't remember. They get their planet gets torn apart, and they have to evacuate everyone. And they go somewhere, and I'm not sure where they went to. There's a character that comes in. I don't know if that's supposed to be a special guest. I just don't know any of these Marvel characters anymore. But she takes them somewhere, and then that's it. And we don't know what happens to him after that. And I don't even get the reference. If there was a reference in there, maybe I'm just so disenchanted with Marvel now. I just don't keep up with the lore anymore. But either way, Nick Fury looks worse in this. Samuel Jackson just says, "Hey guys, I used to be heading up the Avengers. And now I got this." Oh, that's another thing. At the very end, Miss Marvel meets Kate Bishop from the really good Hawkeye show. And she says she's trying to form a team. She's the new Nick Fury. Except I guess she's forming the Young Avengers is what she wanted to do. Please don't do that. I like Kate Bishop. I do. I think she's a fun character. I like Kamala Khan too. Don't do Young Avengers. Don't do it. Please. Please. It's just going to be annoying people. Please do not do that. But anyway, Rambo. Probably if a character could have gotten worse, I'd have been shocked. But I shouldn't be shocked because this is Marvel these days. They took a character no one cared about in WandaVision and made you care even less about her. Bravo. There's not one redeemable quality about this woman. She is lame. She has no personality. She is not funny. She has a problem with Carol Danvers. but they never really dig into it, and she kind of forgives her. In fact, they have the fake unnecessary death. You know she's not dead. No one in the theater knew, because she's the one that immediately when the time rift opens, she knows how to fix it. I mean, she's that annoying smart girl that always has the answer, but you don't know why she has the answer. But she has the answer to fix this, and she how I can't remember. It's the Kree. Someone's son is dead, and she tells Captain Marvel, "But you can start it with your power." She went, "I've never done that before." She went, "Yes, but technically with your power you could, because she's the brainy girl. You know, that's who Rambo is. She's the smart one. She's the Donatello of the group." Okay, and it just makes zero. Like she automatically she doesn't know how to do much, right? She doesn't know how to do much. She doesn't know how to deal with, meeting Carol Danvers for the first time in 30 years. But when a time rift opens up an alternate reality in space, she has the answer right away. She knows exactly what to do without any hesitation. Just everyone pump your power into me, and then I'll go on the other side of the time rift. That's the other thing. Why'd she have to be on the other side of the time rift? That is never explained. Just so she could act like she was sacrificing herself. Even though everyone who watches this knows she's not dead. She's not dead. She even gets the stinger at the end with the Beast from, it's Kelsey Grammer's Beast from the original X-Men, the 90s X-Men. Ooh. And her mom, I guess, is an X-Men, even though I don't understand who her mom was supposed to be. I don't care. It's one of the first time, not the first time. I mean, the Star Fox one in Eternals was pretty lame too. But probably the second time ever I've not cared about the stinger. I thought it was so bad. And it has Beast from X-Men. It should be good. But because Lamo is in it, it's not exciting at all. Her mom's alive in the alternate reality. Great. I really don't care. We already knew that alternate reality was around during Doctor Strange when Professor X came back and died. I guess he's not dead. I don't know. It's all a huge mess. Hopefully Deadpool 3 fixes it all and kills off all the universes and has them restart with Iron Man again. And honestly, the original Iron Man comes back. We just start it all over again. Or just stop making movies. I don't know. Anyway, the only good part about it was Miss Marvel. She wins. She was fun. She had some comedic moments, some moments that I was like, ugh. But enjoyable. Again, I like her character. I wish the writers would give her more to do. It was funny how, she freaks out about Miss Marvel being in her home. I think she would be more disappointed that her parents didn't get a picture or an autograph or anything. I think it's weird when they switch and Miss Marvel comes down the stairs that the family says nothing, just says, "Oh, goodbye," as she walks out the door, because they should know who she is and how much that superhero means to their daughter. That's kind of confusing. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, overall, though, I mean, Kamala Khan was the only enjoyable character. I mean, when everyone else is garbage, it wasn't like it was a stiff competition. But she was okay. She was enjoyable to watch. Like I said, I wish the writers knew what to do with her. She's like Luke Cage from the Netflix show. Dude, I love that guy. He was a great Luke Cage. I just wish the writers had something to do with him. They just didn't know how to write the character. And, Kamala Khan had things to do in this. But her family was kind of, I get it, the family being, we've seen this in The Blue Beetle. We've seen this in a lot of superhero movies, young superhero movies, where the family is a bunch of bumbling nitwits. They're not nitwits, but they're kind of fish out of water, as their superhero offspring go off to fight the bad guy. We've seen this a million times. It gets less funny and very old. And I know you got to put him in there, maybe give him a cameo, but they serve no purpose. I thought the mom, I really did think the mom was going to, or mom and dad were going to give some words of wisdom to the three Marvel girls at the, kind of about how to work as a team or something like that. I thought maybe they're going to give them a lesson in family, but no, they were just there for comedic laughs, and that was it. It's totally pointless. Totally pointless. Not that anyone is surprised that The Marvels was pointless, but there you go. There's my thoughts on it. Holy cow. Can't believe I went 30 minutes on this. I didn't know I would, but there's a lot to hate about this movie. So Horrible. Horrible. Happy New Year, by the way. We'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.